very much, Di. Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to these, the 14th Griffith Australia Day Awards. And it's good to see that none of us have aged one bit over those 14 years. You'll notice from photographs of me across the community that I haven't aged one bit over the 14 years, which is why I still use the photographs from 14 years ago. It's important to thank people. It's important to acknowledge what people have done. And I begin with Auntie Marg, a tremendous Aboriginal leader here in our local community. Through her, I acknowledge the first Australians on whose land we meet and whose cultures we celebrate as the oldest continuing cultures in human history. Think about that, in human history, right around the world. Robin Anderson, thank you for making available this wonderful facility here at Lewiswood College. This has been a centre of excellence for the education of girls for nearly 100 years. It is a great place for us to gather today. Di Farmer, our MC, Helen Abrahams, Robert Chester Master, who seems to have survived very well from when he bailed out over Belgium in 1944. A true war hero. RAAF, the Battle of Europe, in the air, then on the ground. And I'm glad, Robert, you are with us, strong in heart and mind and in spirit. I've got to say, unlike anyone else I've ever heard make the bold proclamation that I'll be brief, my God, he was brief. Robert, you're intimidating when you see someone who's elected member of the Parliament before they speak. Also, of course, to other members of the Griffith Australia Day Awards Committee, Jackie Tan, Karen Oliver and Terry Bench, who have been with us virtually from the beginning. And finally, welcome to those of you who are past winners, community groups, family members and friends, and members of our local community here on Brisbane's South Side. It has been 14 years now since we gathered as a local community to celebrate what is great about what is our community here on Brisbane's South Side, and what is great about our Australian community as well. There is much to celebrate also, including the people we honour today through these awards. Over the years, we've honoured some 388 members of our local community. What's remarkable about each and every one of these stories is that when you hear what folk have been doing, you think, how is it that I've not heard of that before? Because what we honour today and what we've honoured over the last 14 years are those silent, solid contributors. Not out there doing flashy stuff for the newspapers, not out there strutting their stuff on the nightly news, but quietly each day going about the business of making other people's lives better. And that's what these awards are all about. People often ask me, what is special about your life or my life as a member of Parliament and the positions I've held over the years? When I have been out there doing things, when I've been addressing the United Nations General Assembly, when I've been in the Oval Office with the President of the United States, and with Theresa and I having a cup of tea with the Queen, you know something? As I reflect on each year, the thing which means most to me as your elected member of Parliament is this. And there's a reason for that. It's because across a room like this, you have gathered the volunteering commitment of thousands of years of voluntary time. Think about it. People we're honouring today have often put in 20 or 30 years, or sometimes longer, making someone's life better as a result of what they do as a silent volunteer. Multiply that by 300 or 400, you get to thousands of years worth of voluntary life. It's extraordinary. It's humbling. It's remarkable. It's also a core part of what makes this country, Australia, great, and what makes our Southside community great as well. But these are people who cannot receive too much recognition. They literally keep our community from falling apart. We saw this, you remember, back in the 2011 floods. It was community volunteers who helped put the community back together when it was at risk at times of actually falling apart physically. Before governments can announce assistance, before the SES and the Army move in, before the rebuilding packages unfold, it's the people in the community who actually spontaneously make the difference. And it's not just during times of natural disaster. We have community groups with us today who are there for people when they have a need each and every day of the week, each and every year, and when there aren't any television cameras around to record it. I became a little tired years ago of reading those annual or biannual Australia Day honours lists of the great and the good and sometimes the powerful. These reflect solid achievements by many people, but I got a bit tired of the fact that people who do it quietly are frankly never there. And that's why we decided 14 years ago to institute these annual Griffith Australia Day Awards. I wanted the first major community event I attended every year to be one of the best events I attended throughout the year, reminding us of what a great community we have here today. And what I would like to do today, in a few more minutes, is cause us all to reflect on what a great local community it's our privilege to be part of here on Brisbane's South Side. And to be thankful for that. To be thankful for it. To show gratitude for it. Because I believe this community we've got on Brisbane's South Side is one we should all be proud of. And having been around a bit, do you know something? It's one of the best communities, local communities in the country. And having been around a bit, let me tell you this, it's also one of the best local communities anywhere in the world. And we should be proud of that. People will often try and tell us what's wrong with the community. It's very easy to complain. It's very easy to find something that's wrong. It's very, very easy to criticise. It seems harder for people to acknowledge what's going right in our community. My advice to everyone here today is don't let anyone ever talk our local community down. Because this is a truly special place, where people really do great and special things, where people really care for each other, a place where people really do roll up their sleeves. I mentioned earlier that when the floods hit, we banded together with volunteers from all over the place, first removing the furniture and then removing the mud. One of my proudest days as your local member was to have put out the call for volunteers one day as we started the clean-up, and by the end of the day having had 250 people through my local office to pick up gloves and cleaning equipment and head out to a total stranger's house to do the work. And ugly, dirty work it was, you remember. I remember when locals spontaneously gathered down at the local AFL club here at Morningside to help distribute the sandbags when we couldn't get them out quickly enough. It was a time when nobody was a stranger, when everyone was one of us. Our community is also a special place because we are not only a diverse community, we are a harmonious, diverse community. Just yesterday I was meeting with leaders of the Greek community over on South Brisbane to talk about how we together help house elderly members of that community when they need to go into culturally appropriate aged care. Good stuff. Being done quietly and effectively right across our community. In a month's time, I'll join members of our local Indigenous community as we commemorate the 5th year of the apology to Indigenous Australians and recognise what we've achieved together and what we've still got to do. Our community is also a special place because we are internationally minded. We have local businesses here. I met 3 of them yesterday who are out there conquering the world. Markets from Chile to China. Just down here in Morningside, generating local jobs, being great at what they do. We have community groups here who have organised aid and assistance for places as diverse as the Horn of Africa, Bangladesh and East Timor. I'm grateful for the fact that I'm a member of a community like that. A community with a heart, a community which sees the world as its parish. I'm also grateful for the fact that we're in a community in which we honour those who have gone before us and paid the supreme sacrifice. don't know if you ever thought about it, but here on Brisbane South Side, we have a truckload of Anzac Day ceremonies. I'm doing well if on Anzac Day I get around to 4 or 5 of them. That's barely a third of those which are held here across the South Side. It says something special about this community, that nearly 100 years on from Anzac, here we are as a local community, often with a little memorial on a corner in the middle of nowhere, with a few people around, and sometimes increasingly a lot more than that, celebrating and honouring those who paid the supreme sacrifice. This is another reason I'm grateful to be a member of a community such as this. I'm also grateful to be a member of a community such as this because being here in Lewis Hill reminds me today that we have in our midst some of the greatest schools in the country, staffed by some of the best teachers that the nation can provide. Schools which provide every opportunity for our young people to reach for the stars and to help those who need a helping hand on the way through. I'm grateful for the fact that we have schools and dedicated education professionals caring for the next generation of Australians. I'm grateful for the fact that they've chosen to make Brisbane Southside their place to be. And our schools are also giving back to the community tenfold and 10 times 10 as well. Go to St Lawrence's over there in South Brisbane and you'll see that St Laurie's is out there giving back through their annual fund run to support those with autism. Here at Lewis Hill, they provide services and support for the local St Vinny's. Brisbane State High, who will provide a monthly barbecue for the homeless. This is all good stuff. Most of us are unaware of what's going on. And it's been encouraged, this spirit of contribution through our local schools. So for those of you who are teachers and those of you who are principals, thank you. I'm grateful for what you do. I'm also grateful in a community where we have such dynamic businesses, small and large. Businesses who make you feel welcome when you stroll in for a coffee. Businesses who are out there creating jobs for local people who need them. Businesses who also chip in to help those who need help through the Helping Hands program run through our office, which provides care packages to members of the community who live alone. Do you know something? Businesses who are encouraged by our local Chamber of Commerce, the South East Brisbane Chamber of Commerce as well. You know, I'm also grateful for the fact that here on the South Side we host some of the best medical facilities in the country. You've been to PA recently, you've been to the Martin, you've seen the new kids hospital going up, you've seen what's available over at the Greenslope Private Hospital. These are among the best medical facilities anywhere in the country. When I look at the PA, for example, and our Nobel Prize winner, Dr. Ian Fraser, and the Translational Research Institute, which is being built there. The Mater Mothers Hospital, where my first grandchild was born only last year. And all those folks at the Mater who run Radio Lollipop for the kids in hospital. I've got to say I had one of the toughest radio interviews I've ever done only a few weeks ago as your local MP. I'm grateful for the fact that this is a local community where we can catch a bus, a boat or a train or walk to the city, where people are friendly. We've got the bulk of Brisbane's cultural institutions here on Brisbane South Side. The Performing Arts Centre, the Gallery of Modern Art, the Queensland Museum, and the Queensland Ballet, to name just a few, all celebrations of creative excellence. And you know something? This is all part of our community here. We should be grateful for it. I know I am. And on a very personal note, this is the place where my kids grew up, where they went to the local Morningside State School, where I began my elected life as the esteemed elected secretary of the Morningside PNC, the esteemed local convener of the Hawthorne South Neighbourhood Watch, and eventually being elevated to the presidency of the local PNC as well. It's where we've had our family home for 23 years. It's full of fond memories for Therese and myself, and a place where we therefore want to be for the future. I'm grateful for all these things which make our community great. So why have I gone through this great list? I missed out a lot of folk too. I see the coppers up there in the corner. Where would we be without our local coppers? The folk are out there doing stuff which, frankly, is above and beyond the call of duty. You ever found yourself in strife at 11 o'clock at night, not knowing whether there's a strange noise outside, and coppers are there to be called upon and they respond. And not just that, in our active community life as well. So thank you to the boys and girls. We appreciate you being here. My point to all of you today is this. This is one of the best local communities that this country has. And I've been to a few. And part of why it is great is because of you folk here today who have been honoured with these awards. Because you put your shoulder to the wheel to become the glue of our local community as well. I'm proud of each and every one of you. I'm proud of what each and every one of you have done for this community. Let us together be grateful for what we've got. Let us together be thankful for what we've got and acknowledge those who have made it what it is. How many of you in the audience are of the Twitter generation? How many of you are using social media? Stick your hands up. Don't be apologetic. Take out your mobile phones now, go on Twitter and tell the world one thing you're grateful for about our community here on Brisbane South Side. It's important that the rest of the country knows what's going right here as well. I finish on this. This is a great community. We should be proud of being members of this Brisbane South Side community. We should be proud of being Australians on a day like this as we lead up to Australia Day. But above all, let us honour those who have made our community great through contributions, great and small, including each of those extraordinary volunteers who we'll honour here on this 2013 Australia Day celebration. I thank you.